The preseason has officially kicked off, which means those week 1 lines are going to be in play quicker than you can say Deflategate. Okay, maybe not that fast, but it's certainly time to start doing your research and figuring out who to fade and who to ride in that early season games. Remember, in order to break even on that standard -110 betting range, you need to win by 52.4% of your picks. 55% is ideal to start making some profits. So when talking ATS picks, how can you hit over that 55% margin? Well, one theory that seems to work almost every single year is fading playoff teams. Since 2004, when a team that made the playoffs the year before faced a non-playoff team in week 1, the non-playoff team covered the spread 46, 27, and 2. That's 61% of the time. But I'm not sure I like that trend, because if you just take into account the past 3 years in the same situation, the non-playoff teams only cover 11, 9, and 1. That's just 52.3%. So you're probably breaking even, if not losing money, with that method since the year 2012. I like the idea of the playoff teams, of fading the playoff teams in week 1, but that shouldn't be your only reasoning for fading them. To enhance your chance of a big return, you have to consider the offseason as well. Which teams took big losses to their offensive line or their defense? Which teams lost those key players that made the offense cover on a weekly basis? What's that extra piece of trendy information that will give you your best picks of the week? So looking at the list of playoff teams from last season who are playing non-playoff teams in week 1 in a couple of weeks, here are the playoff teams I think could cover and you should rethink before fading. We know that the pass is the biggest offensive factor in the NFL. The Seahawks defense is the best against the pass in the entire league. Combine that with the Rams covering in just 2 of their last 14 week 1 games, I'm sticking with the favorites here, the Seahawks to cover in that outing. Now, the Dallas Cowboys have covered in 6 of their last 8 week 1 matchups, while the Giants haven't covered in a single week 1 game in the past 4 seasons. So I'm sticking with the Dallas Cowboys there as well. This one is a little riskier since Sue is missing from the defense, but I still like the Lions over the Chargers in week 1, especially since the Lions are a +2.5 underdog. Detroit hasn't lost a single week 1 matchup since 2010, and they have won all of those games by at least 5 points. Plus, I really like Calvin Johnson and what he does for the Lions offense. Those are the 3 playoff teams that I like for week 1. Other than that, I like to fade on those playoff teams to bring you guys some big profits. Let me know which playoff teams you still want to ride on week 1 action in the comments below as well. And stick around for more betting tricks and tips leading up to week 1 action only here with us at Sportsbook Review.